So this is a really bad idea we have. But we'll probably end up being good.
But we're chock full of bad ideas, so bear with us.
But we get to read this wonderful book
Woohoo!
for class. And so we just read a story, and we thought, hey, why don't we discuss
Let's share
it while
it.
filming ourselves?
Woohoo!
So
we read How to Become a Writer by...
who's it by?
That's an excellent question.
Is it Lori Moore?
Yeah, Lori
It's by
Moore.
Lori Moore.
This is why one of us should learn how to edit video.
No, we should just post it like this.
Yeah. So that way when we sit here awkwardly and go, who's this by?
What is this?
What page are we on?
So it starts off.
First of all,
The
the narrator, very twisted sense of humor. I love it.
Mopey Dick.
Get it?
And her roommate just goes, we need a beer.
More alcohol.
To the alcohol.
More alcohol.
More. All of it.
Always the
Just
answer.
all of it.
And, fun fact, plots are for dead people. Poor face.
That is honestly probably the best line in this story is plots are for dead people, poor face.
Probably.
He was saying that to his she was saying that to her English professor after she said, you don't have any plot. Plots are for dead people.
Poor face.
She named a villain Poor Face after her English teacher. I don't think she liked her English teacher.
I don't think so either. And she reads Playboy while babysitting. That's the kind of babysitter you want, people.
She also tells kids about old people blowing themselves up or dying
She has
in
some
really
great
weird
sounding
ways.
stories. I personally enjoyed the one where she's talking about a violin who blows themselves up.
Two violinists just blow themselves up in the concert hall.
Great story.
job.
So, and other things happen to the narrator. Her brother goes to Vietnam, loses part of his leg,
And has a smirk forever present on his face.
and she says things like, if there is a God, why is my brother now a cripple? Why? What are you doing? You don't say that. Not about our
Great
veterans.
story, guys.
Not about our veterans.
No, that's true.
Respect them.
The story is entertaining.
Yeah.
But since you're going there, are you trying to tell me something? Especially since this is for a short story writing class.
Do writers become discouraged? Sometimes they do.
And sometimes they do.
It's a lot like having polio. What?
Good job. Just all the encouragement. I'm feeling
Yes.
encouraged.
Oh yeah, I totally want to go out and become a writer now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also read There Will Come Soft Rains.
My personal favorite
By
short story, Ray
Ray
Bradbury. Fantastic story.
This was my first time hearing it.
Fantastic
It was
story.
interesting.
What page are we on?
475.
I was way off, people. My bad.
Just so you're aware, we don't know how to edit videos, in case you didn't
Nope.
catch on to that earlier. So if we post this, if it is being watched, there'll be a lot of, I don't know what's going on, guys. I don't know.
Yeah. We do have other friends too, so.
Maybe one of them. We should stop talking about editing. But so basically, it's kind of,
Post-apocalyptic.
and it kind of sounds like it's being told by a tourist that came and was just like, hey, I'm gonna visit this random house that is the only thing left standing after this nuclear attack.
Which the house isn't aware of a nuclear attack. I mean, it's a house. Understandable.
The only thing the house understands is that its owner doesn't respond to it anymore.
So the house is a little lonely. Feel a little bad for the house, honestly.
And then it finally gets a companion. The dog comes back, and then the dog dies.
It happens after a nuclear explosion. And when the house doesn't beat the dog.
Yeah, it's making pancakes, and it's just like, guess you don't get any.
Because you can't go in the kitchen. Sucker!
You don't have a hand.
We also have a slightly twisted sense of humor if you haven't catch that yet. Towards just a little shout out to our lovely viewers.
Just a little bit.
And then the house burns down. And it's like,
It tries to save itself multiple times.
but it's kind of running out of water.
Has no water.
So attempts do not go well. and the house burns down.
Is that all we can say for this one?
Pretty much.
Okay, so earlier this week, we also had to read... Frick, where is it?
We read Blood Burning Moon.
Blood Burning Moon. Oh, that story.
What? Oh, I just found it. Oh, I lost
318.
it.
318. Blood Burning
I got
Moon
it.
is by Jean Tomer?
Yeah, I'd say Tomer. Could be wrong.
So, this girl has two...
An African American girl. And this is probably early 1900s, maybe late 1800s. Probably early 1900s.
Yeah, it looks like it's around 1923 or so.
Well, I guess that was when it was published. The story doesn't necessarily take place then.
But, around the time where women don't really have any rights, especially black women. Black people don't have rights. Yeah, especially in the South.
And she's pretty, so she's got two lovers in BD.
One of them's white, one of them's black. And the white one, it leads you to believe that she kind of likes him too.
Yeah.
From the line... I can find it. Yeah. By the way the world reckons things, he had won her. By measure of the warm glow which came to her mind at the thought of him, he had won her. So it makes me think she liked the white one back.
Yeah. And the other African American gentleman,
he didn't really care her opinion.
No, but he's kind of like, hey, you love me.
You love me, right? Of course you love me.
And she's just like, what you talking about?
He rambles for like half of a page about that you're not actually dating this guy. You're in love with me. Of course you are.
And she's just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, she even says it. I don't know what you mean. Because of course you don't. And he thinks that she doesn't know what he means about her dating this other guy, and she's just like, I don't know what you're talking about a relationship.
So they're chatting, and then the white guy comes to pick her up for their date, and he's like, hey, what you doing with my woman?
And so
the black guy obviously is like, hey,
this is my girl,
I'm gonna fight you.
So they get into a fist fight, which the white guy did start.
He did start it.
He went.
I mean, and the African American man.
I'm just gonna protect myself because I don't know what's going on.
I mean, and he's also like a farmhand and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's pretty strong. So the white guy goes to tackle him. He steps out of the way and just
sits on him. Like, I'm gonna sit on you.
And he's like, okay, we done here? And the guy's like, yeah,
let me up.
No, go again. And the same thing happens again. So then the white guy's like, hey, I got a knife.
Let's pull a knife. The black guy had a bigger knife.
And slit his throat. And so then the white guy's running around like this. He's like, ah.
And he gets back to the white town.
And he's like, ta.
And all he says is, dumb.
And then all the white guys are like, dude, we gotta go kill this guy.
So they burn him at the stake.
Naturally. So then poor Louisa is left alone.
She's having a mental breakdown. Because she literally is like, if I sing, maybe Tom will come back.
Tom's dead.
Tom's burning alive,
You need to get that fast. You need to get that straight.
You didn't even like him.
No.
I don't understand your problem.
Yeah, so that's Blood Burning Moon.
We also read
The Yellow Wallpaper.
God, that story. This woman has
by Charlotte Perkins Gilman.
Yes. Good story.
It was a good story.
But
a little disturbing.
She goes insane. Yeah. Because her husband locked her in a room with this god-awful wallpaper.
Which, I mean, I don't know. I grew up in base housing, so I'm just like, it's a wallpaper. Can't do anything about it.
And, like, if it was base housing, I'd understand that. You have a set number of rooms, and you gotta stick with it, and you can't change it. But no, they're renting this house for 3 months, and it has
it's described as a colonial mansion.
So at least 10 rooms, and it's just him and his wife and the maid.
And the baby.
And the baby.
Forget the baby.
And the baby. And so as he's like, this room, and you cannot leave it. Sweetie, there are 10 other rooms. No.
Okay, to be fair, it was the biggest room. It had the nicest windows, and it was very bright.
But it was... She asked very nicely, hey, can I change
We have slightly differing opinions on this story.
I don't like it.
I like it.
I don't think...
And I feel sympathy for John. Because in the time period, John was doing what he felt was right.
Yes, I
In
understand.
today's world, no, it's not.
I understand John's perspective, but I do agree with that girl from class that was like, anyone would go insane in these circumstances.
True.
Because she's, like...
Although, it didn't say it just said she couldn't leave the property. It never said she was locked in the room.
She wasn't locked in the room, but he kept her there all day.
But, like, she was allowed to go to other rooms, and she was allowed to go outside of the garden. She talks about walking through the gardens.
There's one point where it's just like, just stay in this room at some point. I don't remember where.
I think it's when she stopped sleeping.
Yeah, and she stops sleeping because she sees a woman behind the wall.
Which, that's a little sign that you're going crazy. There's no people in your wall.
But she does have a full mental break.
And I thought that was interesting in class today when our professor mentioned that maybe she hung herself, because
Yeah.
I kind of was thinking that's where the story was heading, because she kept talking about a rope.
Yeah, she randomly this just rope appeared, and she's like, I'm gonna tie the creepy woman when she comes out.
Yeah, so
Instead, she becomes a creepy woman. So
I could see how you could lead to that.
Yeah,
But
and especially since her husband fainted, would you really see your husband? Would your husband really faint if you're just walking around the room like this?
I don't know. I might faint. I don't know what kind of house you grew up in, but I might faint at that.
I grew up in a really weird house. I love my house. I'm not even gonna touch that house.
And we read
Antigone. We read that for a different class. Antigone.
Antigone is some pretty great stuff.
Beautiful.
It's by Sophocles, in case you didn't know that.
It's a Greek
It's a tragedy.
Greek tragedy
It's
play.
a tragedy.
It's actually the
little hint: if everyone in the play dies,
2 people.
it's a tragedy.
But it's like a sequel to Oedipus the King or Oedipus Rex, depending on translations.
Yeah.
And it's about his kids.
And so it starts off, Oedipus is dead, and he leaves the throne to his 2 sons, and says, okay, for 1 year, you're going to rule. For the other year, you're going to rule. You're going to switch.
Sharing children.
Terrible idea.
Have you ever babysat children? They don't share.
I mean, and why would they share a throne?
No,
Why?
because especially back then, it's like, I have the power. What I say is
So, you know,
rules.
the first brother takes his turn. By the time it's time to switch, he's like, I'm not switching.
But it's my turn.
I don't care.
It's my turn.
I don't care.
Dad said.
I am the king now. I don't care.
But Dad said it's my turn.
I don't care.
Fine, I'm just gonna get 7 of my closest friends, happen to be princes, and we're gonna attack you.
Well, yeah, joke's on you. I'm going to kill you and your 7 princes.
They both die.
Yeah.
Both brothers.
And so,
dead.
I think it's Oedipus's brother, Creon, becomes king. And that's kind of where our story starts.
And he does a logical thing.
Okay,
I
so
understand why he did
Creon
this.
looks at the 2 bodies, because this is really, really recent, so he still has 2 bodies to deal with. And he's like, okay, he was king when he died. We're going to bury him as a king. He was a traitor, technically, to the king.
He rose an army against the king.
That makes him a traitor. We're not going to bury him.
Traitor's death, just throw him in the woods or something.
And Antigone, the sister, is like, no.
That's my brother.
That's my brother. Her twin sister, Esmene, is like, yeah, I agree with you, but our king has spoken.
So Antigone goes and steals her brother that was buried as a traitor's body and buries him. Because it's her brother.
And the king, Creon, finding this out, unburies the body and says, okay, we're going to toss it back out in the woods. Antigone, you need to go calm yourself.
That's my brother.
I don't care. You need to go calm yourself.
But my brother...
Antigone, be happy I'm not arresting you, but you are going to go to timeout. Calm yourself.
Literally, this play from Creon's perspective is calm thy bosom.
Calm yourself.
She goes into house arrest and escapes. And
well, no. First, Ismene is like, maybe our brother should be buried. I mean, otherwise his soul is condemned to walk the earth forever.
That's not good.
No eternal rest for him.
That's not good.
So Ismene goes and buries him, and then Antigone's like, what you gonna do? Are you gonna arrest both of us? And Creon's like, actually, yeah, I am.
So
Ismene, house arrest. Antigone, this is the second
Buried
time
alive.
This is the second time you've broken my rule, so we're gonna bury you.
Buried alive with the body of her dead brother.
Yeah.
Like, that's great fate.
And so Antigone dies. Ismene, I'm pretty sure Ismene kills herself.
Yeah.
Creon's wife drops dead.
After making a sweater.
For poor people. I'm still not entirely sure why
I
she
don't know how
dropped
that
dead.
happened.
I don't either.
They said something about the fates just cut her string or something.
Yeah, I don't know. So then Creon is left alone.
Talking to his
play.
messenger.
And he's like, so,
His family's cursed.
I knew this family was cursed to begin with.
So those of you wondering why Antigone went to such lengths instead of just being like, okay, fine, whatever, she actually has a little monologue in there where she says, I wouldn't do this for a husband, nor would I do this for my own child. And she says, because if my husband died, I could just remarry.
Get a new husband.
if
They're
my-
replaceable.
If my kid died, I could have another one.
Again, replaceable.
My parents can't give me another brother.
You mean my father/mother/grandmother?
/ brother? Yeah, it's just, that family is messed up.
Yeah.
But so she's like, I can't have another brother. So I will go out of my way. I will put my life on the line to make sure you don't get
And
damned.
Creon's just like, you need to go calm down.
Yeah. And so she dies in a cave with the dead body of her
And
brother.
a lot of people see Creon as the bad guy. I don't agree with that.
I see the logic in both sides.
I had to play Creon in a play in high school in a very condensed version of Antigone. So I had to study him, and I was like, you know, he's not really that bad of a guy.
He's not. And he did the logical thing.
He's trying to do what is best for his people.
And he gave his nieces opportunities to
And
realize what he's doing. And
he wasn't going to punish Antigone for burying her
no,
brother.
he's just like, go sit in this corner and calm down.
Calm down.
She got put in timeout and then went, no, I'm still gonna do this.
Yeah. I mean, so really, Antigone brought it all upon herself. Really.
It's both sides
it's
are understandable.
all moral gray area.
He did what was right for what he was doing. She did what she felt was right. Neither option.
I would say both were right and wrong.
Yeah, there's really no right answer with this story.
Nope.
Because he could have.
Except Oedipus is crazy. If Oedipus had been like, hey, you two can share the throne, if he had just followed tradition and been like, okay, you're the older brother, you get the throne.
Did Oedipus grow up as an only child or something?
Evidently.
I'm an only child, but I babysit my cousins, who one of them is currently 6 and the other is currently 4. And I know
They don't share.
they don't share. Like, we have to share Netflix, so we watch one kid's show and then watch the other kid's show, and that's always a struggle. Because the one goes, I want to watch this one, and the other goes, I don't like that show.
And I work at a carousel, and, you know, everyone wants to ride the spinny tub. They all want to get sick in the spinny tub.
I hate the spinny top.
And so, you know, I'm like, okay, but they got in here first. It's their turn. And they're like, no!
I was one of those brats that if someone beat me to the dogs, I was not pleased. But I hate the spinny tub.
Which, I mean, sometimes I'll be nice and be like, okay, buddy, this is your 6th trip in the spinny tub. You need to get out and calm down.
Go get an ice cream, then come back. After 30 minutes. Because I'm not cleaning up that vomit.
Oh, we have a rule. If you puke, your parents clean up.
Wonderful.
We tell parents this, too, before their kids get in the tub.
That's good.
Especially if they say they've just come from lunch. I'm like, oh, if your kid pukes in there, you're cleaning it.
I hate that tub. I had to ride that tub with my cousin. It was, different cousin.
I've seen a lot of people get sick in the tub.
I hate that tub. Anyway, we're off topic again.
Woohoo! That happens a lot.
We also read... This is our first time doing it, so we're going to have a lot more to talk about than we're going to have later. But we read...
What did we read?
Poe.
Oh, yeah, the Telltale
We
Heart.
read the Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe.
She doesn't like Poe.
I can handle The Raven and Annabelle Lee.
Annabelle Lee is more sad than creepy.
I don't do well with creepy.
I like Mask of the Red Death. I'm going to read it to you one day.
Shall I? That's something you gotta look forward to. You gotta deal with the creeped out me. But basically this man goes insane because his boss has a weird janky eye, and so he kills him.
Naturally. I mean, that's what I would do.
But
You look weird.
Thanks. But he's very methodical about how he kills him.
He chops him up and hides him in the floorboards. But then, he starts to feel a little guilty because the old man wasn't that bad of a guy.
Again, I feel like it's another psychotic break story.
Oh, yeah.
Because
he says he loves the old man.
it's just the eye.
Which, I mean, if the eye creeped him out that much,
Ask your boss to wear an eye patch or,
something.
But
don't kill him and
He,
quarter him.
but the cops came. He's like, I can do this. I can act perfectly calm.
But
no
then-
one's gonna know a thing.
He hears.
Which would creep me out. But no one else can hear it.
But he thinks they can. He thinks they're just
So he
messing
just-
with him.
Screams, yes! I killed him! Look
He's
under
on
the floor!
You're sitting on him. And they're all like, what are you talking about?
Crazy person?
What are you doing?
Calm down.
Calm down.
Repeat.
What are you doing?
What?
You are sitting on his body. What?
The heart is right there, and it is
Right there.
beating.
I can
Killed
hear it.
him.
I'm not
I don't know
crazy.
what's going on. And he kept telling throughout the entire story. That was like
I'm
the
not
one.
crazy.
I'm not crazy. Would a crazy person do this?
And it's like, yes, a crazy person would. A crazy person would definitely go, I'm not crazy. I cornered the body up and hid it all over the house and the floorboards.
I'm not
Crazy person wouldn't do that. Oh, yeah, I would. That's another hint for you viewers.
You're insane.
If you quarter a person and hide their body in the floorboards, you are crazy.
If you stare at them sleep for an hour, I'd be concerned about your mental health.
But again, don't tell us if you're hiding a body under your floorboards. We really don't want to know that about you.
But yeah, the reason it took him like 3 nights to kill him, and the reason was because when you're sleeping, your eyes are closed, and he didn't see the eye.
And so he's like, "Oh, I
can't
can't
kill him.
I mean,
Because
so
he's
nice.
he's nice.
I
and-
can't see
I don't
him."
have a problem.
But then one night he wakes his boss up, and the eye opens. He's like, "Oh my god, I gotta kill him right now!"
Death. And he suffocates him under his bed.
Yeah, he like flips the mattress over on him, which that takes a lot of strength, by the way, to flip a mattress with a person on it.
I think I wouldn't have had a problem with the Telltale Heart if I had just read it. But I've heard it told on a TV show when I was a kid. And last year, in a production, they did Nightfall with Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know the author, so please don't sue me for copyright. But it covered The Raven, The Pit and the Pendulum, and The Telltale Heart.
I don't like the Pit and the Pendulum. Just not a fan.
And so we were reading the story, and all I had in my head was that play, which was done very creepily. Not a fan. I went to it 2 times because I had friends in it. Dear God. I appreciate Poe. He's a good author. I don't choose to read him.
I like Poe. I'm a big fan.
Should we talk about the other stuff?
Oh yeah, Homer and Hesiod.
We read the Homeric hymns, and
Yeah, I don't have
Definitely.
any handles on my drawer, so good luck with that.
the Hesiod.
It looks
find it.
exactly like this book, except it says Hesiod.
and I
there.
think the symbol is different too.
I don't think so.
But it's about the Greek gods.
Hesiod is confusing.
Oh,
I liked the Homeric hymns much better.
I like a few pieces of the Hesiod just a little bit.
I like the language of Hesiod.
Yes.
I'm an English major and a linguistics minor, so I like words.
theater major with a lit minor. So
I
I
like
take
words.
a lot of the same classes.
I like words.
But
I like words.
Pandora's box got finally explained to me. I was so happy about that in the Hesiod.
That was in Works and Days, I think.
Yeah, it was in Works and Days in the Hesiod.
Oh yeah, because we read the Works and Days and the Theogony by Hesiod.
And
the Homeric.
I'd always wondered, where does this originally? Because you've always heard Pandora's box, Pandora's box, and when someone says Pandora, you're like,
I know, I see what
not
you did there.
Hey. And I never knew where it originated, and it was great finding that out. It was like, yes, made my day. This was beautiful. I enjoyed reading this. I'm not gonna lie.
I liked reading the Homeric hymns. What else we read?
We read Oedipus, the king.
We did read Oedipus.
We kind of talked about.
We already kind of covered Oedipus.
Antigone. Yeah, Oedipus.
Oh, we also read Angela's Ashes by Frank McCourt.
Frank McCourt. Yeah, it was a good book.
It was good.
It was very sad.
It was sad. It had a happy ending. Mildly happy.
He went back to America.
Which, I mean, good for him.
But when the book tells you, like, the happy childhood is hardly worth your while, you're like,
oh great.
Oh joy.
What have I gotten myself into?
And it goes, but miserable childhood is not worth it either. No, not until you experience the miserable childhood of the Irish Catholic.
That would be a rough upbringing, I feel like, especially because this is like 1900.
Yeah, it was just after the country, I think, split into two.
Yeah.
And
so this is, I think it's like 1920s, 1930s.
Great Depression.
Yeah.
Is that like around the end of the Great Depression here in America?
Yeah, because his younger brother enlists in World War II.
Yeah.
So it's got to be, it's got to start in the 30s. Early 30s, maybe late 20s.
It was, but
I mean, that's a rough time to grow up.
This family. But I understand where the mom was coming from after she had the last one. 8 pregnancies. I would have drawn the line too.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
8 pregnancies, and I think only 4 of her kids made it to adulthood.
Yeah, because she had a miscarriage for one of them.
One was a miscarriage, the twins died, and the girl died.
8 kids. Okay. So she had Frank.
Frank's the oldest.
He lives.
And then there's Malachi.
He lives. Then she had twins, Oliver and Eugene. And then she had a girl, Margaret. Well, Margaret dies in New York.
Yeah, she dies before they come back.
These aren't born yet, so.
The twins die soon after they get to Ireland.
From sickness.
Yeah, one has I think it's implied both of them died from pneumonia.
Yeah, and then she was pregnant when they got to Ireland, and before the twins died, she had a miscarriage.
Probably from the boat ride.
Probably, or all the walking. They walked almost the length of that country.
Yeah.
And then she has Michael, and then she has Alphonsus.
Yeah, which is a strange name for an Irish Catholic baby, by the way.
But so from 8, we now have 4.
So things are a little rough in the courthouse.
Yeah. And the dad is
Malachi Sr. He's an alcoholic.
And he never brings his wages home. So the family's
drinks them.
Starving to death, basically. Except for when the mom can get charity.
And poor Frankie, he gets typhoid and conjunctivitis.
But you gotta understand, it's a memoir, so you're sitting there, and he does a great job. I loved reading it because it goes from, you hear it in the voice of 5-year-old Frankie.
And then you hear his voice mature.
Into 19-year-old Frank when he goes back to America.
And you're like, whoa, mind blown.
I love the progression of this book and how well.
I really want to read the sequel, Tis.
I've put it on my wish list.
And I want to read Teacher Man too, the 3rd book.
Yes. His brother's also his own author. Malachi.
Really?
Yeah, Malachi's also an author. Amazon keeps going, hey, you like Frank McCourt? Here's his brother.
Malachi. Which, I like that name, Malachi. That's a cool name.
That's a pretty name, yeah.
That's a cool name.
We've also read Arby. Should we talk about that?
There's not much to talk about the Arby or the boarding house.
Yeah. We also read those 2.
Yeah, by James Joyce. Best known for his work Ulysses. I have not read it.
Neither have I. We're also getting ready to read The Dead.
What you doing, Milo?
Yes! We have a friend here.
Be careful with my fish.
I'll be careful with Milo.
Be you drop my fish, the show is over.
This is Sir Milo Theodore Capulet.
He's kind of camera shy.
He's right here. You see where my thumb disappears? That's where the fish is.
Put my fish down.
I'm putting Milo down.
Put my fish down. You are terrified.
It's okay, Milo. But yeah, so Sir Milo Theodore Capulet.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You can tell who's an English major.
Or who's seen Atlantis. Anyway, we've been talking for about 30 minutes.
And it's almost 11 o'clock.
So we're gonna say, hey, hope you liked this video. We're sorry that there's a lot of us just rambling. We are...
Get used to it.
Because as we said at least a few times, we don't know how to edit. But hopefully you'll like
I just
this.
learned how to use my webcam.
Literally.
Let's see, this video is 31 minutes, so about 32 minutes ago.
Because we were just like, hey, let's try this.
And I'm like, okay, let me find my
We don't know how to
webcam.
do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thanks for, if you sat through this entire video, thank you for watching.
You're our favorite viewer.
We love you. And we will see if we will talk some more.